everyone! I'm back with another video. I've been meaning to do this video for a long time. I was thinking how I'm gonna do this video, and my guides have been wanting me to do this video forever. 20 million tarot videos later of saying the same shit. They're like, you need to do this, you need to share your opinion, your thoughts, and things like that with people. So I decided to make this video, and where to begin? There's like 20 million different ways I could have gone through this, and I have a lot of different ways to go and points of view. Remember, these are just my opinions. You don't have to resonate with them, but it just feels good to just get it out anyhow, regardless. So I'm going to do the oh my gosh, why can't I talk? Spiritual topic. I can't say it for some reason. Okay, anyways, so oh my gosh, why is there blockage now? Why is there a blockage? Seriously. Okay. Seriously, I have this all like figured out in my head, and now comes the time to actually do it, and it's like, no. Okay, so let's calm down. Okay, hang on, I'm thinking what I want to say so it comes out quickly. Okay, we'll start off with Tumblr first. I've been on Tumblr for a long ass time, like longer than probably most at this current moment. I started Tumblr in 2009, probably at the end of 2009, because it came in from a fandom, and that fandom led me to Tumblr, and I was on LiveJournal long before then, and then a fandom of mine led me to Tumblr, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's this site? This site's so cool. It's like LiveJournal, except not. So that led me into Tumblr, probably at the end of 2009, heading into 2010, and then tons of fandoms came after that. But anyways, I watched Tumblr evolve, obviously over time, because things evolve over time. And so as I watched it evolve and through different fandoms and whatnot, the spiritual side started coming in, which is cool. I'm really excited about that. That's great. And I had just kind of left other fandoms at the moment, and I hadn't been into a fandom in a long time. And so I also studied astrology for a long time. Like, my mom made a birth chart for me and the whole family a long time ago. And I was like really curious because I saw it one day and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And like, this is my chart. I don't know what it means or anything like that. So I used YouTube, like most people do, and I looked up individually everything about my chart. And then it kind of snowballed into spiritual topics again. I grew up in a spiritual family, so talking about guides and guardian angels and spirit guides weren't too obscure. My mom had a collection of Sylvia Browne books. She's a psychic medium, but unfortunately she's passed away. But anyways, my mom had a huge collection of that. My mom used to go to psychic shows and all kinds of things like that when I was younger. So it's very familiar territory. I just had never taken it seriously until I started doing astrology. And once I figured out my chart, it just, like I said, it snowballed into all these other different topics, you know, meditation and chakras and all kinds of things like that. And so I studied astrology for a long time, like 6-7 years, and then I kind of like hit a lull and kind of stopped. And then towards 2020 on Tumblr, I kind of got back into it again, more curious about things. I've always been curious about the mysteries of life. I've always loved anything supernatural, paranormal, different cultures, different religions, all kinds of things like that. I've always loved that kind of thing, so that's not unfamiliar with me either. So this towards 2020, I think it really spiked my curiosity to kind of dive deep again. And so I was searching on, Tumblr astrology, because I was looking at different placements, because there's a really good astrologer on Tumblr. They have infinite advice in different perspectives than YouTube videos. And so it's like more in depth. And so I, was searching up my chart aspects and all that kind of stuff. And then I followed a couple people, and then the spiritual side of guides and chakras and gods and goddesses and all that kind of stuff kind of came up. And I'm like, it's interesting. And then fast forward, in the witchy side, fast forward maybe a year and a half after 2020 is when I started really taking it seriously. A little while back, I want to say 2018, I was really into meditation and chakras and things like that, and my vibration was really high, and I was making progress. And then I stopped, and then, like I said, in 2021 I came back to it again. And as time goes on, Tumblr evolves, and like I said, the spiritual community started coming through, which is cool. And then I remember asking my first tarot question, which was cool. So excited, because I never experienced that before, and to get confirmation on certain things was really, really cool. So, and then I'm trying to remember how I got aware of my own spiritual gifts. I'm trying to remember how that kind of came about. Because it kind of just suddenly happened. I remember getting up in the morning and having this vision of my crown chakra opening, and it was like a lotus flower. It was so precise. The vision was so precise, and I even drew it, because I like to draw whatever happens to me. I like to draw it out as best as possible, so I remember. And there was these men below the lotus flower, and they were banging on the bottom of the lotus flower like it was a drum. And there was these tiny purple men, I don't know, and they were banging on the bottom of the drum, and the lotus flower was opening, and I was like, whoa, that was the clearest thing I've ever. And so ever since that, things kind of snowballed. And so, gosh, I feel kind of scattered, and I don't want to be scattered, I want to be precise. So that was kind of the inkling of something coming about. And then I just started having random things happen to me. Visions. Gosh, it's almost elusive to explain it, because it just happens, and it's weird, and I accept it for what it is. Just random things. I would get my angel feathers and things like that, and I started hearing audibly. I remember laying down in bed at night and hearing April really, really loud in my ear, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And it come to find out, in April we went to one of the last BTS concerts in April, and my dad's birthday is in April, so I sat there thinking, what the heck is going to happen in April? And that's what happened in April. We went to Las Vegas for their last show, and that was super fun. And then, okay, now I remember how this all started. Before all this, I had gone through a major depression, really bad depression. Really bad. And I had still been watching some spiritual videos, and there's this guy who had this spirit box that he had just made, and it was available for everyone to use on his app. And so I'm like, what do I have to lose? And so I was completely depressed. I was just terrible. And I remember asking my guides questions and things like that, and something picked up. And the first session was really, 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 really good. But unfortunately, the laptop I was using at the time was completely shit, and it didn't record what was being said. But something came through that said, wake up. Like, wake your ass up. Wake up. And that will stick for me forever, because it was just like, just this resounding boom of someone. I still don't know who exactly, but they're like, wake up. Like, come on. And then a whole bunch of other voices came through, and they told me to lay down and all this kind of stuff. And it wasn't like demonic or anything. It was just like, a lot of them kept on telling me to stay where I was. Like, they didn't want me to leave in that conversation that was coming through. And I was like, whoa. So that kind of snowballed everything into where I am now. And so back to the main point. I guess this is where the opinions come in. I like to incorporate all different types of philosophies and spiritual knowledge together. To me, all of it's one. There's no separation to me. And I know some people put spirituality in a box. That's what I want to say. And that's frustrating because it shouldn't be in a box. Nothing should be in a box. And now spirituality, thank you my guides for helping me say that. The spirituality is now in a box. Now there's set rules to follow. That one way is the only way, and there's no other way to work with it. And that's stupid. And it should be ever flowing, and it shouldn't be restricted. Like, for instance, if you follow the Wiccan path, that's great. Follow the Wiccan path. That's what you resonate with, and there's no judgment on that. Or the Golden Dawn and the Magicians. That's great that you resonate with that. But there's no true defining way to go about it. And that's when restrictions come. And that's when people's egos come in. I'm sorry, I'm very hella observant. And through YouTube and watching Tumblr. And it's a learning experience. Not everyone, I have my own faults, okay? But I'm hella observant. And I can tell when your ego comes in to your practice. Like, totally tell. And I watch my own P's and Q, okay? I'm not saying, oh, I'm perfect over here. No, but I'm observant enough to take a step back and go, shit, okay, this is coming on too strong. My opinion is becoming too dogmatic, like dogmatic. And people don't know how to let off the gas pedal when that's coming through. And maybe they don't even consciously know it, and it's a blind spot for them. I've tried many different communities to try and fit in. I can't. Oh gosh, I tried so hard. But people can be so dogmatic with their beliefs that if anyone else has a different opinion or a different or question even about something other than their beliefs, they shut them down. And that's not right. Once again, you're putting your own beliefs and spirituality in a box. I work with everything, and I don't care what people's opinion about that is. You can gatekeep all you want. Because guess what? We were all different cultures in past lives. Wow, what a thought. Yes, we might not be that culture in this life, but guess what? We were 1,000 different cultures in other lifetimes, okay? So, sorry, shut up and stop gatekeeping on that. Yes, respect. I believe in total honesty and respect. Okay, I have Native American blood in me, and I'm not sitting on my soapbox telling people can't practice shamanic things, okay? So, guess what? You probably were a Native American Indian in your past life. Who am I to tell you to not practice what you practiced in your past life, okay? Same thing with everything else. People who worship deities and things like that, who are not Roman and all, and Egyptian and all that kind of stuff, you still believe in it, and yet you call other people out for not being authentic in the blood. Like, So I'm not trying to leave it on a bad note or anything. I'm just saying it drives me crazy when people are so dogmatic. Guess what? You have to work with the chakra system because those are the energies in your body. And that's how you amplify your own spiritual awareness and power within you. So people are like, you can't practice an Hinduism practice. Guess what? It's part of your motherfucking body. So I call bullshit on that. Because I've seen time and time again when I'm working with my chakras, everything's amplified. So, also, people go to Tibet and study Buddhism, and they're not Asian or Tibetan or whatever, okay? So, suck it. Sorry, but like seriously, it drives me nuts. Anyways, calming myself back down. I personally, when I see the ego come through, and like I said, it's a blind spot, especially the magical side of things. I believe in magic. I think magic is powerful, but it's detrimental when you wield it the wrong way. For instance, when people cast a circle and they summon angels or archangels or whoever they're summoning, and I'm not saying there isn't respect, but 9 out of 10 times, especially males, and from interviews that I watched on YouTube, because I'm curious when people write a magical book, what the author's point of view is and things like that. It's like, oh, I command so-and-so, and they had to do my bidding, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, you're going about it the wrong way. You're letting your ego control this situation. You're suddenly powerful, and this is what you do. You let your ego control everything. And that doesn't resonate with me. So when I look at the Golden Dawn, and I've looked at it lots of times, or the Kabbalah, and I work with all these things, I do. I just try and work with them in a fair, lighthearted, non-restrictive way, as best as possible. Because I'm trying not to let my ego in, and it doesn't come in, and thankfully, I'm very perceptive of that. I would never stand in a circle and command for something to do my bidding. Sorry, that's not how I work. I'm very respectful about it. And granted, I haven't done that, but I've seen tons of people who do. And once you think that you're more powerful than what you're calling in, that's called the ego. So, yeah. And, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but like, that's what I see. That's what I observe. And some people just don't think their shit doesn't stink. And you need a reality check because everyone's shit can stink sometime. So you're not immune to that. And so when people really think their shit don't stink, it's like, oh my gosh, the ego is really coming in for this person. So I have a love-hate. I'm trying not to say love-hate. Everyone has their own way of doing magic. Everyone has their own way of connecting to source. And that's what the beauty of spirituality is. It's not restricted in religion this time. It's kind of moving out, but then it gets stuck in a box again if you make it just strictly Wiccan or strictly like the Golden Dawn magic or whatever have you. That's when we should restrict it again. It's supposed to be free-flowing. Everything's supposed to be one. Everything comes from the same source and different layers of source. However that wants to come about, it's all one. So it can be really frustrating for me because I'm a very open person and I try and take bits and pieces from everything and use it for its highest good in myself, and I've seen it work because I'm respectful for it. So I do my mantras, I do my chakra work every morning. Mantras really work for me. They're very powerful for me. I try and keep my vibration as high as possible. I go in the shower. See, the water is really, really conductive for me. Is when I go in the shower, it's my sacred time. And people need to use manners more when they're talking to spirit. They need to also be honest with themselves, and when they fuck up, you need to be like, shit, my ego is getting in the way, or I've neglected this thing that I should have worked on, or whatever. And you need to say, wow, today I'm really being negative and stubborn, and I apologize all the time to my guides. I'm like real with them. I say, I'm sorry I'm being too stubborn today. I'm sorry I'm being negative today. And I let them know, and I apologize, because guess what? I'm a human having a human experience. Everyone's human having a human experience. It's just going to default back to that ego or whatever. It's just going to default back to that. So it's good to take time in reflection to realize, hey, I messed up. I need to apologize to my spirit team who's working with me, working their asses off with me. It's like raising a child. It's trying to get your child to do what it needs to do. And we have free will. We have free will. We don't have to be on even this line, but if we can blend some of it together, that's still helpful. So I use the water as my sacred spiritual time, and I thank my guides and my spirit team and my guardian angel and myself and my higher self and my inner child and my teenage self and so on and so forth. And I thank all the pantheons of every pantheon. And I thank Mother Gaia, and I thank the Lord, and I thank Mother Mary and Father Joseph and Jesus and the Ascended Masters, and I thank everyone, the angels and the other choirs of angels and everything like that. I try to do that as best as possible every morning. Now, because this is such a strong prayer, I get taxed out a lot, and so sometimes it's really hard to like complete it because my like prayer is like really, really long. 9 out of 10 times, all I can say is thank you, because it's so tiring. Not, I shouldn't deplete myself that way, but anyways. But say thank you. Thank you and gratitude is so important, because if you're going from want, you need to show just some gratitude. Like, thanks for helping me. Thanks for helping me get through this. That kind of thing. Because they're always with you, and at times it might not feel like that, but they are. And the longer we raise our vibrations and we meditate for a couple of minutes and we center ourselves and ground ourselves, it helps that connection. It helps that connection. To get us tapped back into source. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I probably could think of 1,000 other things. I'm trying to think. Sorry, most of it was a tangent. I was just trying to be honest. I'm a Sag rising. My Jupiter is in Cancer in the 8th house. So, yeah. So I was honest. And there's going to be more videos, and whether people watch that or not, I don't know and nor care. I'm just holding space for people who might have the same opinions as me. And there's nothing wrong with spirituality. It's just sometimes it gets stuck in a box. And there's a blind spot where people can't see, and they treat people like shit because they think they're better than somebody else in their spiritual progression. And that's not true. We're all the same. No one is better than anyone else. You shouldn't treat people like shit because you think your shit don't stink. So that's all I have to say. Light and love. I hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I have to say so far. I'm sure, like I said, I'll think of more things after this video. But anyways, that's what it is. So, thanks for watching. So, thank you.